Wendy, thank you so much for availing yourself to speak to us. I think this is such a big deal. In my mind, I had a bigger chance of interviewing the Queen of England, Barack Obama, and Michelle before you. Like, I just never thought this would happen, ever.
Wow. Wow. Good for you. It's my
Because you
pleasure
are,
to be here, by the way. I do get a lot of people from where you are that say they love the show, plan a trip. They like asking.
mm,
So I'm not planning any trips anytime soon. So this is the best way to do it, being that you're so popular.
no, it is the best way. I mean, I was just speaking to people earlier today about how we recite your lines. I remember the one time you had said that the night before you'd been drinking, and then on the show you're like, "So, folks, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a bumpy ride." Like it's when we get to work and it's been a big night, we're all like, "It's a Wendy night, yo. It was a bumpy ride." So you are like this iconic person when it comes to popular culture.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are. And the one thing I heard you say in one of your interviews is that you don't do vacations. For you, your house, your home is a vacation, right? So
Yeah.
then I watch, the biopic, and I watch the documentary as well. And I think to myself, when all of this was happening, especially in, say, in the last 3 years, where did you go? Were you home, or did you really go away on a vacation just to like take a chill pill?
3 years, you said?
Yeah.
I think I went on one last vacation with my ex-husband,
Okay.
knowing that I was going to be divorcing, but I wanted to hold everything together for me, for myself and my son. He had to get away to college before I could,
Ah.
yeah.
And so how did that holiday work out? Were you guys in the same room? Did everyone
Oh
have
yeah.
separate rooms? So
No,
you and
same room.
Kevin.
We had the sex, the whole bit. When we landed, unfortunately for him, and this is not talking out of school, unfortunately for him, he, when people rush to turn on their phones,
Mm,
and I'm sitting next to him in the plane, and I see that he's texting somebody, "I miss you already." And so I said, "Who is that?"
that
And
we
he
miss already.
he lied to me and said it was, somebody in our camp, that I
Yeah.
said, "No, it wasn't." So the first 2 days, we were there for a week. We went to Turks and Caicos,
Okay.
and we had a private room with a clear floor. You could see the fish while you're laying in the
Mm,
bed, and it was real. It was a real romantic time in theory, but it actually wasn't, because I knew when I got back I had to
mm,
really get busy, and give it to him good. And
yeah.
and so, we fought for maybe the first 3 days. But,
Yeah.
same bed, we'd go to the beach. I wouldn't argue with him at dinner. He wouldn't bring it up. So I guess he thought I forgave him and everything was great.
Mm,
We held hands. You would never know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know the thing about us women, especially when in that situation, because I've been in a situation where I was just getting repeatedly cheated on, right? And there was one time I asked myself, do I actually want him to lie to me, or do I want the truth? What was it
Yeah.
with you?
Um, I I prefer the lie, because I know that I'm not an actress by trade, but I'm an actress in an emergency.
Mm,
And unfortunately, I was acting for, let's see, we were together for 25 years, married for 21. I was acting my way through for about 18 years. I mean, our son is 20, and I found him on the phone with the mistress. Remember in the
yeah.
movie that was acted out?
Y-
And then when 9/11 happened, I said, okay, everything is going to be okay. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can forgive him, because now he knows how important family is, and people are
mm,
dying in our city, and our baby is beautiful, but I couldn't do it. So, I applauded, and it took years. A lot of girls
mm,
just grab the children and grab a bag and they go stay, at their mom's house, or, a good friend or something like that. I didn't want to involve other people. I wanted it
mm,
to be my private moment until I was ready to share in my
mm,
personal life, but also here on TV. I'm in my
mm.
office, by the way.
Oh, where your studio is?
Yes.
Oh my God, how are you doing? So now, in another interview, I heard you say, "I'm allergic to people who get down and then stay down." So you don't mind the breakdown and the tears, like, because obviously we're not bionic women, right? We're not bionic humans. If
Yeah.
something happens, you get down. You have an issue with somebody who stays down, right?
I
So,
do. I don't like weak people. Weak people to me are, I'm allergic to that because
mm,
it's depressing talking to them. It's depressing just being around them. Like I have a girlfriend who has gained some weight and
ooh,
and a whole litany of problems. She said she hadn't gotten laid for years, 3 to be exact. And I hadn't seen her in years, but new life, you know, you just
yeah.
get in the car and you go. I called her up. I said, I'm coming to see you. I'm bringing double masks. I'm bringing Lysol, and we can socially distance. But you know, her strength to get up. But then she just would say, Wendy, I don't know. What should I do? I said, I don't know. This is your life. I know what I would do, but
Uh,
I don't know what you should do. And we cried and we laughed. We had a good time. I was only at her house for about an hour and a half.
but it was good enough for her.
It was a good time. Yeah. She was so shocked because I said, I'm on my way.
Uh,
And so she
but
said, the place is a mess. Let me clean up. I said, no, 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 no.
don't care.
I'm not judging. I'm just coming over. We don't have to hug, have paper cups, ready and paper
Mm.
plates. I have a sandwich and, I can split half of it with you if you'd like. And she's like, Wendy, you don't want to see me. I don't need a sandwich. Yeah.
Oh, oh man.
But
But
she's an exception to the weak rule. And that is that I really, I like her. I liked her when she was on top. And I like her even more now because sometimes people like that need to talk to somebody to make them stronger. Like, girl, I don't know what you should do. You could start with a vacuum cleaner. When's the last time you vacuumed? When's the last time this, that, and the third? And,
or went for a
yeah,
walk. Yeah, or
yeah.
something. But don't you get tired of being the strong woman? Because looking at your career, obviously, I mean, looking at radio and TV, it's misogynist. I don't know why people think that the whole sexism of TV and radio has miraculously disappeared, over the last 5 years, but it's there. But you've
Yeah.
been doing it for decades. Do you not get tired of being strong?
Not tired of being strong. I have to be strong. I have to be strong for me first, and because who's going to take care of me? And I have to be strong for my son to teach him when you do get ready to get married, and he wants to get married, but he says, Mom, not until I'm 40.
Good.
And I'll start dating for the purpose of marriage when I'm 37. And I'm like, oh, okay. So what are you going to be looking for? He said, well, somebody like you. Oh my God. I was like, oh my gosh, really? Like, I'm no longer corny to him. I'm corny, but in a cool way,
Yeah.
and he knows I don't try hard to impress other people. I just am who I am. And I used to be scared to do that, even on the radio, until you finally just say, oh my gosh, I'm here every day. It's too much to lie and be somebody else.
Yeah. I'm going to run out of shit to say.
Myself and
Yeah.
see who's going to get me. And then I get a phone call about, the show. And I was like, oh gosh, another meeting where somebody wants to put me on TV. They're going to want me to act like they want me to act and not who I am. And my partners here at the show, it was like a magical moment. They told me they want me to be exactly who I am. They're based in California, but they were listening to me on the Googler, and, and honestly, their whole idea was daytime needs a Black woman on TV. So let's find, the best one. And of course, the first thing you do is you look in the number one market, TV and radio in the country. And then, okay, who's number one? And I had no idea they were spying on me. Otherwise, I might not have gotten the job. I might have tried to, fix myself up and, I know these people are listening and they're coming down, so on and so forth. But they said, we want Ask Wendy. We want the gossip. We want we want, that giggly thing that you do. We want it all.
Isn't it nice to be wanted for everything you are, including your flaws?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's the magic of the Wendy Williams show, is that we can watch it and feel ourselves, there, being right and wrong with you. And that's what you did right.
that's the beautiful thing about radio. And I love talking to radio people, by the way. So but that is the beautiful thing about radio. Radio, you're in a room by yourself, or maybe, you have a couple of interns coming in and out, but you create theater of the mind in describing stuff. I'm a storyteller, and so, the virus, I only have my staffers, in there. That's not all of them, but my staffers are there. And people always ask, don't you miss a full studio audience? And I said, I miss them. I hope they're watching, but honestly, no, I could do the show with or without an audience. Because when I look in the camera, I imagine you listening or watching, and I have a very, very fertile imagination, and that's all due to radio training. And not all radio people are good on TV, but I just let it go. And I thought we'd only be on for a couple of years. I used to tell my ex-husband, we're only here for a couple of years. I'm going to save every dime and figure out, what I'm going to do next, because I'm definitely not going back to radio. How can, no disrespect to our craft, because I am from radio, but once you're on TV, it looks like you're losing if you go back to radio.
Go back to radio because there's a certain glam and bigger than life nature that TV gives you.
Yeah.
Right?
Just the whole thing, the studio, my coworkers, we occupy the building across the street too, on one of the floors, but they treat me really, really well, and I treat them really well. And there's not one person here who could tell you I curse them out or ever, or was not polite to them, please and thank you. And I love them. They love me.
We love you. So in South Africa, on the 10th of April, I'm so excited for this. On the Lifetime channel, we're going to be watching, Wendy Hot Topics, as well as right afterwards, the docu. I know the entire country, we like doing one big, mass watching thing, and we're going to push it everywhere, right?
Really?
And yes, and I'm excited about this because obviously the doc has been out and we have the internet, so we catch on clips and things that are said there and there. But the complete full, I'd say 5 hours of Wendy is going to happen on the 10th of April for us. So we're planning one big country stop. It's Wendy time, right? And what I'm looking forward, I know, right? It's exciting. So what I'm looking forward to is, you said that after dating, so after getting divorced and then after dating, you realize that you're not a girlfriend, you are a wife.
Yeah.
So explain that to me, because now you've said that, and then I've watched this documentary and this movie, and I'm so enticed by that statement. Why do you say that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a girlfriend, but girlfriends are temporary. Girlfriends also can't, share your insurance, and there's a whole legal thing there as well. And I won't change my name to his name. He's got to understand that. He's got to have his own everything, his own money. He's got to have his own secured position. He preferably he was divorced, as opposed to never been married. His children have got to be grown. Like, I'm not trying to be a stepmother. I don't even want to see the kids, because you're not going to see my son.
The kind of grown that makes them come with their own kids.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
But I am a very serious girlfriend, meaning, once I go out with you enough times, I can decide, is this the one that I really want to, give all that to? And I'll have the talk with him without being scared, and then one day, if we get married, great. If we don't, I'm okay with that. But I am definitely the loyal wife person.
But is that because of
there's a lot in new life that I don't do because I don't want to anymore. Like, I don't cook, so he's gonna have to get used to going to restaurants or eating out of leftovers from my fridge, and me too with him. But yeah, I treasure myself and all that I've built. I didn't come from a broadcast family. I don't come from money. I don't come from anything except my mother's womb.
So do you think you have the stance about girlfriend, wife, and who you are in a relationship because you know how much you put into a relationship?
Correct.
It's not about them. It's about me, Wendy.
Correct.
Ah.
But if I want you to be my boyfriend, then you also have to be, putting in a lot as well in your own way. You don't have to do it because I say so, but in your own way.
Mm. I love the partnership that happened with you and Lifetime about, they would guide you and say, no, no, don't put that in. That's a waste of time. Rather put this in. And I mean, I know they wanted to put both the rape incidents and they were like, no, 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 let's go with the R&B one. And
Yeah.
I like the fact that you weren't just the subject that they gave money to and said, we're going to take your story. You were there with them.
Yes.
When you finally watched the final product, what parts were difficult for you to watch?
The whole movie and the whole documentary was they were very difficult to watch, only because I keep pinching myself while I'm watching. And I watched by myself, by the way. I did not, have a watching party. I did not want to be interrupted. I told the cats even, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm busy. But the whole thing was difficult to watch because, first of all, every girl knows Lifetime. It's like, yes. And the idea that now I'm family, unbelievable, number one. And then, I mean, I had a couple of miscarriages, but, they showed me miscarrying and then me finally having Kevin and then me having to plot and plan my life. And I kept looking in the mirror and saying, I can't believe you made it. I can't believe you made it. I've been in beefs with almost everybody on the radio at one point or another.
Yes.
During my radio time, whether it's, Fat Joe, who's now friend of the show, from Fat Joe to, the panel on The View. Like I go to The View and they're like, I'm just like one of the girls. And I say, I can't believe this is a show that I watched as a fan. And now I'm here, but not like a regular guest, like Wendy's here. Dr. Oz, if I, need a second of advice or to ask him about something that I saw on his show, because I'm a fan. Judge Judy is a big deal. And she whispered to me that she and her husband both watch. And I said, oh my gosh. I said, Judge Judy, I can't believe that, privately I said, I can't believe that I'm sitting with you here on the couch. She said, Wendy, you will be able to do this until you don't want to anymore. I said, really?
She's right.
You're sharp, you're smart, you're beautiful, the whole bit. So yeah.
So do you think there's anyone out there that owes you an apology? Because the world would like to think that Wendy's the one who owes people apologies, because that's Wendy, right? Calls it like it is. She'll offend you, but she's telling you the truth. You never hurt people with lies. And that's what I love about you. You always hurt us with the truth. Yeah. So now let's flip it around. Do you think there's anyone that owes you an apology?
No. In the documentary, there's a particular old radio boss, a white guy with the beard, that fired me. And now he and I are friends through this Lifetime project. I said, well, here's his name. I don't know his number. He probably won't even answer the phone. Like, forget her. Yeah. But he and I are now friends. And another radio boss who, I always say, the answer to your question is no. I don't think anybody owes me an apology. I don't mean to offend. I'm just saying it the way I see it. And if you'd like to call the show and talk to the Hot Topics Bureau, I will. They will take dictation on your statement. No, I know this is crazy, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's your answer. All right.
In every interview that I've watched, and they speak about men and dating, and you said men don't hit on you, men are intimidated by you. But in most of the interviews I've watched, there's guys there and they're hitting on you and you can't pick up on it. So
no, I pick up on it.
Do you?
Yeah. Oh, please. I've been reasonably attractive all of my life, even before, the show, even before liposuction, breast implants and all that stuff. I've never had a problem with men as far as boyfriends and stuff like that. That's why when girls complain to me, like, where are the men? They're everywhere. But that is probably, I used to think it was a bad quality of mine that they're scared of me, but it's actually a good one because, if you lower your mask and give them a smile and, bat your eyes, then they know it's okay. Come on over. Hi, I'm Wendy.
Thank you for
exactly
that.
who you are. I'm scared right now. Do you want to take me for dinner? I'm free tonight at 7. I'll meet you at the restaurant or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, thank you. Like I say, 10th of April is Wendy Day in South Africa. We're looking forward to it. And I'm really so glad these 2 projects happened for you, because I don't know if you went to therapy or anything, but I feel like this is your therapy. This is your therapy. Nah?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to therapy later on today. I got 2 different therapists, and because I finally found the 2 perfect ones. I've been searching for the perfect one for about 30 years before I even met, my ex-husband. Somebody to talk to, somebody to, share my secrets. I want a couch to cry on, and I want a diagnosis of the situation, like, Wendy, you're not wrong, or Wendy, wow, or whatever. But it's very, very difficult to find a good therapist, even if you're a regular person. You just can't settle for any kind of person, staring at you and asking you questions.
Or you can just go and do a movie and a documentary, and that can also be your therapy.
Yeah.
Because Wendy Williams. Wendy, we absolutely love you. Please stay as talented, consistent, daring, fearless, beautiful as you are. We're going to support you forever. Forever.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a wonderful day. And I can't wait for April 10th in my mind.
Thank you. Wendy, please just say, hey, this is Wendy Williams and you're on 947. Come on, please. Go for it.
Good. I'm Wendy, and you're listening to 947.
Perfect. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Another big interview
on Anele and the Club.
only on 947.